Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, Golden One Falls, Golden What If, whatever you want to call me, and I'm back. I'm back with the final part of What If Deku was One Punch Man. If you guys enjoyed the series, show some love. Leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below. Normally, finales do absolute dog in terms of viewership, and it makes sense because, I mean, let's be honest, it's always known that part one does the best, and then obviously some of y'all love watching the movies, so the compilations will do pretty good. But yeah, show some love. For those who are watching this video right now, you are all real ones. You are the homies. You are goated. With that said, I'm not going to waste that much more of your time, and let's get right into the what if. Let's get it. It is finally time for Izuku Midoriya and Class 1A to take on the Provisional Hero Licensing exam. Now this is a test for everyone that is going to be challenging. It seems that all the people there know who they are, know what they are, and, well, they have a bit of a target on their head. But there's one issue for Izuku, or it's kind of an issue at least. The issue that he's currently dealing with is the fact that during the first event, this more or less dodgeball, more like you have to throw these red balls to turn off these lights. Well, yeah, nobody wants to even get near him. That might be an issue because he needs to actually tag people. Everybody uses this kind of to their own advantage, but most people overall just avoid Izuku entirely because they don't want to mess with him, deal with him, or have anything to do with him. But let's just say Izuku takes the red balls that he has and would eventually find his way around to eliminate some people. I mean, his overall speed, his strength, and everything would just lead him to easily get the tags he needs, even if everybody avoids him. I mean, you can run. Well, I mean, like they say, you know, you could run, but you can't hide. So, in this case, though, you can't really do both. So, Izuku catches up to them, would eliminate a couple people, and get on to the next event. The next event would be pretty simple, and luckily all of Class 1A would pass the first event, leading them to the next event. That next event would be pretty simple, actually. It's more of a rescue-like event. The rescue-like event would more or less consist of just saving people. You would save people from different scenarios and save people from different climates and buildings and so on. Izuku would be pretty good at this just for the sake of, well, he's been kind of working on it for a while now, at least trying to more or less get better at it. But still, Izuku is finally able to more or less get his bearings of it and save a bunch of people and be able to basically get really good at just restricting himself from, you know, completely obliterating buildings while trying to lift people out of them. So he would find a pretty easy time to more or less lift people and do the heavy lifting for those around, helping out people like Momo set things up, and also just do little things here and there. But when the sirens begin to blare, I think all of us knew what was going to happen next. Many people try to jump in front of Izuku and try to take the glory of it. Izuku would slowly walk toward all the villains and also Gang Orca, who's quote-unquote controlling them, and Izuku would tell Gang Orca that it's time to surrender, because if he doesn't, he'll have to put him down for good. Gang Orca would laugh it off, but you can tell that he's absolutely nervous. This is the same kid that absolutely destroyed so many villains in literally one punch. A kid that is stronger than All Might. Izuku would hear the shaking of the voice of Gang Orca, and in a matter of seconds, he would land one punch to Gang Orca's face, and he would be out cold. The rest of the villains would be completely shocked, and in villain fashion, when your gang leader or your group leader is out for the counts, you run away and scurry for your life. They do just that, and alarms begin to blare, and, well, everything is safe and sound and good to go. Izuku would look around and see that everybody's staring at him in complete shock. Yes, they knew he was able to do this, but he really is a monster. Well, a monster in a good way. That might sound weird, because how is he a monster in a good way? But yeah, he obviously just flatlines Gang Orca, makes him just out cold, and the entire thing is over. Over just like that. It didn't take long. Izuku made quick work of everything going on, and, well, it seems that most, if not everybody there, would eventually pass their provisional hero licensing exam, which makes everyone extremely excited. I mean, they did kind of luck out at the fact that, well, Izuku kind of just won them the entire battle, and obviously Todoroki and Inasa don't even have to worry about their little dispute because, well, they just don't have to even fight at all. So it actually goes pretty well for most people. And Izuku did make Bakugo a little bit more humble, so he wouldn't, be a complete psychopath. He probably would still fail in some capacity, but he's not a complete psychopath. Izuku would then basically just go to his class, and Aizawa would more or less pat him on the shoulder, telling him that he did a good job. I mean, it's expected, and he kind of knew that this is exactly what was going to happen, but still, I mean, it happened. It happened quickly, it happened fairly, and now they all should be getting their provisional hero licenses, in which Izuku was happy about, and eventually he would get his card, and his bald head would cover 50% of it. He would be disappointed by this. I mean, come on, his head's not that big, right? Don't answer that question. Izuku would more or less take his card, put it in his pocket, and get ready for the next day at UA. The next day at UA would be simple. Mirio and the big three, Nejire, Tamaki, and Mirio, totaling, and they would begin speaking with Class 1A. They would talk about what they want them to know, about work studies, and eventually Mirio would say that he wants to fight all of them. Well, except for Izuku. That fight would be already game over. So Izuku watches as Mirio absolutely tatters and beats down his entire class, which is, well, admittedly kind of entertaining for him, but he still wishes that he could go head to head with Mirio. But Aizawa says that he can go right ahead. I mean, Mirio said that they weren't going to go head to head, but why not give him a chance one-on-one? Izuku is excited about this, but once the fight starts, it's clear that the speed advantage is to Izuku by a mile, even though Mirio is extremely powerful and seems to be getting stronger as they fight. Izuku can't really put his finger on it, but he doesn't really care in the grand scheme of things. He just knows he's getting stronger. He continues to fight Mirio, and it's obvious that Izuku is more or less just waiting for his opening. And once his opening shows, one hit, and that's all it would take. Mirio would be slightly injured and tell him that he's done. That punch hurt way too much. And Izuku basically helps him up and more or less brings him back to Aizawa. He asks Mirio if he utilizes something else other than his permeation quirk. I mean, he's obviously getting faster and stronger, and Mirio kind of sweats a little bit and kind of looks a little awkward and says that it's really nothing, it's just his permeation quirk. Izuku shrugs it off, not really caring much about the answer at least, but he does get an offer from Mirio not too long after that Sir Night-Eye wants him to actually be at their agency. Yes, he knows that it's probably not the funnest idea to be known as a sidekick, but still, Izuku would be great for their next mission and great for what's to come. Izuku would accept. I mean, he says that he doesn't really mind being a sidekick, and to someone like Sir Night-Eye, who's a top hero, it's honestly something he would look forward to. So he does just that. Some time would pass and they would arrive at Sir Night-Eye's agency, and Izuku would speak with Sir Night-Eye. Sir Night-Eye would talk about many things, but the main thing is Overhaul. Overhaul is a serious threat. A threat to society, and they believe that they're making some sort of quirk erasing bullets. Izuku then says that, well, he's perfect for the job then. Perfect for it. They're confused. How is that? Izuku begins to explain that he is quirkless. I mean, in all technicality, they've ran tests recently actually, and there's still no sign of him even having a quirk, which is kind of hard to believe in some regards, because where does he get this strength? And he does say that he was blessed by the gods, but they also don't believe him when he says that. I mean, that's kind of an outlandish statement. Like, why would anybody believe him when he says that? But Izuku just shrugs it off, saying that they could believe whatever they want, but that's the case. He was blessed by the gods. Izuku would tell Mirio and also Sir Night-Eye this as well, and also would tell them that he would love to help him with their overhaul problem, that if he lands one punch, that's all it will take. But they do explain that they want to do more than just find overhaul. They want to actually find his base and stuff like that. So they would rather keep Izuku here for now, because they know how trigger happy he is. He scratches the back of his bald head, and he says that he does understand that he is a little bit trigger happy. I mean, he would punch a dude in the face if he knew he was a villain immediately. So, after some patrols, they would finally find where Overhaul is currently stationed. More specifically, they would run across him and a little girl. This is information that Izuku would eventually get. He would eventually learn of this, and he would kind of be pissed off about it. I mean, he would tell them that if he was there, he could have defeated Overhaul and saved the little girl. They then say that they're going to defeat him anyways. They need to eliminate the entirety of the group. Izuku says that they could have just saved her. That's what mattered at that moment. Don't they realize that? That person is exactly what All Might would do. That exactly what All Might is a symbol for. All Might's not the symbol of peace alone. He knows that every life is precious. Every life deserves to be saved. This does strike a chord with Sir Night-Eye. He would feel a certain way about just this kid saying these things. Did he believe the kid? Did he agree with him? Kind of, to be honest. He believes that, well, Izuku's right. He could have done more. They could have saved her and then tried to hunt down the rest of the gang a different way. But they have to live with the mistake and live with what they've already done. So they're going to hunt down Overhaul and the Shia Hazzaikai right now. A meeting would ensue, and all the information would be spread, and they would figure out the exact location, exact time, and where to go. Izuku and everyone else would get ready to the siege on the place of Sir Night-Eye. Get ready to siege on the place to more or less stop the Shia Hazzaikai entirely. Well, it's finally time. Izuku would get the signal, and once it starts and once everything is ready to go, well, he would charge forward with everyone else. Charge forward. And finally, he would be able to bash through and mop through everything that is in front of him. Eventually, it would lead him to the one and only Overhaul. But Overhaul would be ready for him. Overhaul would shoot bullets. Not only him, but many others would shoot bullets toward him that were infused in some sort of quirk. It's odd, this blood that is changing everything, that it will revert quirks entirely. This one of the bullets would graze Izuku, and Overhaul feels that that's all that needed to be done. One hit. All that has to happen is one hit, and his power goes away. It's a mist. It's gone forever. One bullet would finally bounce off of Izuku, and Overhaul would think that it landed, connected, and it was now over. Everything was now going to fall into place. That's until Izuku would question why he's shooting BB bullets at him, and Overhaul would stand there in complete shock. Izuku would get serious and would appear in front of Overhaul. One punch is all that's needed. He would land a punch to Overhaul, and he would go soaring toward the back wall, slamming into it, and he's out cold and bloody. Izuku says that if he was a villain, he would be dead right now, but he's not. Izuku would dash around, knocking out everybody else that helped Overhaul, at least in the room, trying to set him up for more or less getting rid of his quote-unquote quirk. Well, the quirk he doesn't have, but still, he would knock all of them out, and, well, it would be over. Izuku would watch as the crumbling of the Shia Hazzaikai was right under his feet. It was as if all it took was a being stronger than All Might to clean up this society. Izuku would be happy to see this would cuff overhaul and get everybody settled, and all the other events that would happen just would be halted and destroyed by Izuku. Izuku would easily be known as someone that is going to be the future of Hero Society and also be the future #1 hero. Izuku would continue on with his schooling. He would even challenge some of his classmates. Class 1A versus Class 1B would turn into a spectacle that nobody would even think of. Izuku versus both of the classes. Yeah, but Izuku would come out on top, and everybody would watch the journey of Izuku Midoriya, other known as Deku, the One Punch Man, the person that was like Saitama, the person with the bald head, and that would take over and end crime forever. He truly was better and stronger than the #1 hero, All Might, and he would follow in his footsteps to keep everyone around him safe. But that is the end of What If Deku Was One Punch Man, and if you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a sub, and leave a comment down below what you want to see next. I got a lot planned, so I hope y'all stick around for it, and I hope all y'all enjoyed, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.